2016 is etched in history. The Western Bulldogs are the reigning premiers.
Like all Bulldogs people, I guess, we've daydreamed about what it must be like to, when it happens one day, and the last couple of weeks have been those little daydreams of, wow, did that actually happen, and how good that it has.
Was there a time where you've been with the football club for a long time? Were there times where you thought it may never happen?
There's been a couple of low ebbs along the way where you think it feels so far away. But the last couple of years, it has felt like we've been building something pretty special. But until it happens, you never quite feel like it'll happen for us.
Stephen King, Senior Assistant Coach to Luke Beveridge. Kingy, welcome.
Thanks, Swatter. Thanks for having me. 2007,
you're a member of the Premiership team as a player for Geelong. 2016, you're now a member of the coaching panel with the Western Bulldogs. Is there a different feeling with those two experiences?
Yeah, I think as a coach, it's something you see all the work behind the scenes that goes into getting these boys on the park every week, all the meetings, the coaches, the work we do, but also the medical staff, the trainers. I guess you get that whole holistic feel of what it really takes to achieve something so significant. And I think when you're a player, you're a little bit more insular just in terms of the 22 that run out there and doing your job each week, whereas as a coach, you get to see just the work that goes in to get the boys to that point.
Describe the feeling immediately, the siren sound. We saw the vision where you're on the boundary line with the coach. What were your initial thoughts?
It's an elation of epic proportions, because I don't have anything to compare it to. I know, but as I said to the boys in the days after, winning an AFL premiership is Everest for a footy team. But when you haven't won one for 62 years, it is like a double bounce. So the energy on the field was just mirrored by the elation in the crowd.
This is the next day at the Whitten Oval, Kingy. These are quite extraordinary scenes.
Yeah, and to see, I think, for the boys to achieve what they did, it actually means more than just a sporting result. I think, as Bob touched on, it means so much to so many people. And I think you even got people up the street coming up to you that aren't even Bulldog supporters, just caught up in the fairy tale and the magic and the spirit of it all. It's just quite significant.
Players get a lot of kudos, and rightly so, but Luke Beveridge, 2 years in the job. This is a football club that 2 years ago had lost its coach, had lost its captain, had paid a lot of money to get Tommy Boyd in. But tell us about the influence and the impact that Luke Beveridge has had on this group and this club.
Oh, it's a really hard thing to capture in a few words, but the banner in the prelude there was Bevo's Bulldogs, and like Kingy's alluded to, that it takes so many people to build a premiership team, a premiership club, but his influence on the whole club and the players and its staff has been epic.
Kingy, do you have, your own experiences? You work with him on a daily basis. You've seen him up close and personal. You've also been underneath other senior coaches.
Yeah, Bevo, he obviously knows the game really well, but what strikes me about Bevo is he encourages everyone to be themselves, whether it's staff, players, and he's just such a positive influence on everyone that doesn't sweat the small stuff, just look at the bigger picture and be really positive all the time. And I think that helps, as a coaching group, balance us out, but also, I guess, lets the players be themselves and make them feel, I guess, nothing's out of reach, just to try and achieve the best you can and see where it takes us.
Can I focus on the fact that you played 39 players? It's quite an extraordinary effort when you think you've had so many injuries, none more so than you, Bob, but 39 players, a lot relies on everybody coming in and do their bit. There's two players that I'll get you to talk about. They're the older statesmen, Matty Boyd and Dale Morris, but then I'll get your thoughts on Bob Murphy. So Murph, with regards to Dale Morris and also Matty Boyd, old players played such an important role with a young developing group through the course of the year.
Yeah, they've had stellar careers, and before this year, I think they would have been long regarded as all-time greats of our footy club. But I think they've probably just about had two of their best seasons, and a lot of that's been their abilities on the field, but also their influence off, and to be able to influence and calm a younger group has been exceptional. They're great teammates, so they're great players, but they're great to play with. They're special players for our footy club.
Kingy, a lot's been said about the man that sits in between you and I, and we just saw some vision there. He was cruelly struck down in round 3, which we'll see some vision a little bit later on, but the influence of this man with regards to not being able to play, not being able to go out and compete every week, and what he was able to do with this group and help them achieve what they did.
Yeah, his leadership off the field was extraordinary. I think just that calming influence around the playing group, interstate trips, Bob would come with us, even for coaches to have Bob there, just as a real bouncing board of how the players feeling, what could we do differently. And I think he's just that mature person that obviously great relationships with everyone across the football club, trainers, players, staff, And I think the way Bob's actually led this year without playing many games has been, just extraordinary. And I've got no doubt that we wouldn't have achieved what we had this year without Bob's influence, behind the scenes this season.
Well, 2016 certainly was the year of the dog. Let's go back to where it all began. We'll have a look at rounds 1 to 5.
The Western